Greetings, Nick from Sweetwater here. Now, as I'm sure you remember, a few years back, Epiphone issued a limited run of aged black gloss, Old Glory, Jared James Nichols signature Les Pauls. That was a huge success. It sold out almost instantly, so here comes the triumphant sequel, dun, da, 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 Gold Glory. And as the name suggests, while Old Glory had a sleek-looking black aged gloss finish, Gold Glory has, wait for it, an eye-catching aged double gold finish. So without further ado, here's the guy whose name is on said guitar. Enough of my babble. Tell us all about this new axe, my friend, and thanks for doing this.
Thank you guys so much. This is awesome. I love Sweetwater. Nick, you're a legend. This is Gold Glory. Like you said, everyone knew Old Glory, the black Les Paul custom, aged, just very cool satin finish. Now we come back with this gold and double gold. I love it. This guitar is so cool. I'm so excited about this one. It is incredible to have one signature. Now with the second, I'm totally blown away. And Epiphone knocked it out of the park with this one. It feels so good. And when I picked this up, this is the first one they sent me. We didn't do any revisions. It's incredible. It has basically the same features as the original Old Glory.
Right.
We kind of honed in on the neck shape just a little more to suit my needs. There's a little bit thinner in spots, a little thicker.
Right.
We have a new upgraded Seymour Duncan USA P90,
Ooh.
which is just tweaked just a little bit. Obviously, we have the CTS volume and tone pots.
Right.
Very simple. The other cool part about this guitar is we were able to mess around with the fret size a little bit. So the frets, there's just a little extra there. And for me, I'm like a bending guy. I love all of that. So it really helped me out. It really gave me just a little bit more stability in the tuning as well. Another cool feature that is really just for this guitar is the aged nickel hardware. The hardware has a little bit of aging on it.
Oh, cool.
And I love that. It's so cool because
it matches the body. Yeah.
This thing's awesome. And then when you see that aged hardware, it just puts it over the edge. And of course, the updated Epiphone headstock.
Yep.
And this thing's rocking, man. I'm so proud of it. We got the black stinger on the back, as the original Old Glory had the white.
Right.
Man, it's a rock solid riff machine.
Gotcha. So and it's the same thing. So set neck, mahogany body, ebony fingerboard. I love the fact like the traditional block inlays. Like the wraparound bridge really is like minimalistic in that sense. It's like a single coil with no tailpiece, just a wraparound bridge, tone, volume, that's it.
Yeah, it's such a simple guitar that I feel like whether you know who I am or not, it's just so cool and you can get so much different tones out of a single pickup guitar. When you pick up this guitar, you're going to sound like yourself.
Right.
I've heard guys that play metal or country or jazz play the original Old Glories or this, and it's so cool because what you sound like is what comes through. Single P90, nothing fancy. It just is what it is.
Now, what attracts you to the P90? I know some people call it the tonal bridge between single coils and humbuckers. Is that it, or does it go back to Les Paul Juniors? What's the hook?
Well, for me, it really goes back to Les Paul Juniors and one of my biggest heroes, Leslie West. So
of course,
when I first heard him playing on a P90, I instantly was drawn to that sound. To me, a P90 is like the perfect in-between of a traditional single coil, right? Like you'd find on a Telecaster, Stratocaster.
Right.
But it has that extra edge that you'd get out of a humbucker.
Right. It's got that girth too, hasn't it?
It's got the girth. And for me, and if I can play just for a second.
Cool.
Oh, hold on.
Do.
Let me.
Dogs are good. This is real. This proves it's live, folks.
Just give me 1 sec. Hold on.
Okay, this is a dog break, my friends.
Oh, the joy of Zoom.
Oh, it's all good, my friend. It's all good.
Okay, cool.
So dog break over, back to it.
Just full on, you get a really punchy mid-range. As you use your volume and tone controls, I feel like you can really shape what you want.
Right.
Bringing it back to like a volume at 5. It really starts to kind of give you that more chime.
Yeah,
which,
no, it does. That single coil chime, you're right.
yeah, it's awesome. So there's so much variation with your volume and tone controls. Rolling back the tone all the way, you can really get that quasi neck pickup sound. It's the woman tone, right?
Yeah.
Putting that at 5, you can start to get more of a. And for me, I just found that I could do more with one P90, and I had more of, a spin on trying to find all of the tones, trying to find everything inside that one pickup.
Yeah, one pickup, 2 controls, your hands, that's it.
That's it. That's it.
For people who've never watched this man play before, it's scary the fact that he does not use a pick at all, ever. Maybe as a doorstop, but never uses it per se. What influenced you to do that? Who were your... Did you just not have a pick? How did that all evolve? Quickly tell me that, please.
Yeah, of course. So the real story is I'm a lefty. I write with my left hand. I do everything lefty. Even when I picked up my first guitar, I was holding it like a lefty would. My first guitar teacher, he said, "Hey man, you got to flip the guitar. What are you doing? You have to play righty. All the good guitars are righties. You don't want to be that guy that, you got to bring your guitar everywhere you go." So anyways, I started to play righty. And then I was playing with my thumb. And he told me, he goes, "Man, if you're going to be a real guitar player, you have to use a pick." So I used a pick for a little while, but I could never get used to it. There's something about feeling the strings under my fingers. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like with my fretting hand. Like if I couldn't feel the strings and, the frets underneath it, it wouldn't feel right.
Right.
And it's the same with my picking. So for me, when I really started to branch out, I was looking at guys like Jeff Beck, Mark Knopfler, Derek Trucks. I was even listening to guys like country chicken pickers.
Right.
And I would see that guys would do hybrid picking. And I said, well, if they're doing hybrid picking, what if I just use my thumb, my index, and my middle? I'm sure I could get a lot of tones with that. And I just started experimenting. And then when I got into the blues, it was like Albert King.
Sure.
I was listening to guys like that. And it was just something that I did because it was like a quirky thing. Like, I'm a lefty. I never thought people would be like, "Hey, it's the no pick guy," but that's kind of how it worked out.
Right. No, it's that's a great backstory. And going back to the guitar for a second, the thing I really like about the guitar is it's not obvious. Like, how some signature guitars are obviously that guy's. Yours just looks like a really classy Les Paul with the P90 and no pick guard, no nothing, just keep it simple, stupid. So it's like it's a guitar for everybody. It's not just Jared J. Nichols fans.
Yeah, and that's the reason that I love it so much is, like I said before with the P90, this guitar is an open palette, and whoever picks it up, they're going to sound like themselves. And, I love Les Paul Juniors, but I'm a little bit of a taller guy, and, they always look so small on me. And I thought to myself, what if I could have like the full body Les Paul kind of with the junior vibe? That would just be awesome. And so it's just so cool because it feels like a Les Paul, but it's just simple. It's so simple that, and quite simply for me, it's inspiring to play.
Yeah, so it's like it literally is a junior Les Paul custom hybrid or mutt, whichever way you want to look at it. I guess we'll say mutt because your dog just interrupted us.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so funny, Nick, being at home, having a dog, and someone walks by or the mailman goes by, they just start barking. And
cool.
Now here we are doing an interview, and the dog wants to be in it.
That's great, as he or she should be. Now,
Yes.
Talking of that, this 2020 was one of the weirdest years I've ever lived through. How did you keep yourself sane during that?
Well, for me, 2020, it was a total year of growth because, before I was touring all the time and we were going to and from Europe, and, I have my trio and we were taking every slot we could everywhere. And in 2019, I spent 308 days straight on the road.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And that was going from tours in the States, and we go straight to Europe, to Canada, to Japan, whatever. And I was like just a total road dog. That's all I wanted to do. I was just playing shows and just running for it. And then we were on tour, and we were over in Europe when everything happened with the pandemic. And then I found myself within 48 hours back at home wondering what was going on. So what I really did is I just took the time and I really practiced a lot. I did a lot of things that I haven't had time to do, right? So like I found myself writing songs, writing riffs every day.
What a concept.
Trying to, yeah, and just trying to grow in spots as a musician that I hadn't before. You know, it's amazing to be out on the road, but now having all this time, I found that I was able to dig deeper into writing a new record and, you know, kind of saying to myself, oh, I always wanted to learn this thing, or I wanted to do this, and having the time to actually do it. So it's been a really beautiful thing to play guitar and to play music. I'd say I've been playing about 8 to 10 hours a day, almost every day.
Good for you. So it was a huge lemon, but you made a lot of lemonade, it sounds like, as opposed to moping.
Yeah, no, I had to, you know, like we'd said before, this was something that I could control and that I could find, you know, a reason to pick it up every day and just keep growing, because I always joked with my friends. I'd say, man, if I had one more year to just practice and like to just work, I feel like it could be awesome. Like I could get so much more done. And then sure enough, I had that year. But now I'm ready to get back out. I'm just chomping at the bit to like even just jam with people. You know, I've been at home alone just playing, and I'm just so excited to like, either get in the studio or get on a stage. It's like every day I wake up and I'm like, are we there yet?
Right. Now you mentioned you've been writing. So have you started recording it, or are you about to record? What's the next step?
Yeah, we're actually starting to record on February 1st here in Nashville, Tennessee at a studio called Blackbird.
Nice.
And my band is coming in, and obviously we're going to do everything safely, but it's going to be the real first time I've been able to jam with those guys since the pandemic started. So I am super excited, but also now I feel like I got to get myself in shape, you know, get ready to record, get ready to be back on it, you know.
And you know, looking at the glasses, looking at the glasses half full as opposed to half empty, there's going to be a vibe there, the excitement, and if you can capture that, that could be magical as well, because it's almost like the first record again, that feeling of, hey, I'm in a studio, wow, let's play together.
I know, I'm so excited, and it's funny. I have that nervous energy. I have that energy that I haven't felt, you know, in a while, because I think all of us were so used to, and just, you know, oh, it's another show, it's another whatever, you know, even with the NAMM show, right?
Right.
Oh, it's another NAMM, it's all good. But now I feel like everyone's getting that excitement back, and they're craving, you know, I can't wait to jam, I can't wait to see a show, and for me to get in the studio, I am just so excited.
Yeah, it's funny how sometimes something familiar you get complacent about it because you forget how exciting it really is. I'm also delighted to hear that you put your time to good use, because I have a lot of friends who they're frustrated because they've run out of things to watch on Netflix. It's like, really? That's how you spent 2020 watching someone else's life multiple times?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know. I'm so happy. And I think that's why we all love music so much, is because, you know, it just, ever since I picked up a guitar, I haven't been bored. So 2020 was no exception.
Good for you. So yeah, so like you said, making hay while the sun shines, or making hay even when it's not shining, allegedly, you can still get ready, sharpen your blade, as it were.
That's exactly right.
So listen, thanks so much for taking the time. I'm going to finish by asking you a slightly off-the-wall question. I was doing my research on your good self, and you've done some really cool footage over the years, and a lot of people have said, you know, the typical question is, show us the riffs that inspired you to play, or show us your favorite riffs and licks. So what I'm going to ask you is this, especially as you have such a quirky style, a lefty who was forced to play righty and as a result became like a finger master, a pickless finger master, like some Jedi kind of guy. So my question to you is, are there any riffs, licks, or players who've influenced or impacted your style that might surprise people watching this? Go.
A ton. So when the first one that comes to mind is when I first started playing guitar, my dad got me into surf music. Really? Now that might be kind of weird. The first book I ever bought, it was like a tab book. It was for the Ventures, right? So I found myself learning a bunch of that stuff. So if I played some of that, it'd be like that. Right?
Yeah.
Or Apache, right? Surf music, that was a big one for me.
It
When I heard
clearly
those
stuck
guitars,
as well. It clearly stuck because you just pulled that out of your hat.
I really did. How about Sleepwalk, Santo and Johnny, like stuff like that, right? I'd have to. I have a slide right here, but like. All that kind of stuff.
Cool.
That was a big one. And also like when you hear things as a kid and it always stays with you.
Right.
On the flip of the other coin was my older brother and sister were into grunge. So that's a whole other side, right?
Right.
So the Alice in Chains, the STP, of course, like Nirvana and stuff. And most people knowing me as like a bluesy rock kind of guy, maybe they wouldn't think that, but like Jerry Cantrell, huge influence.
Oh, huge. What a great player.
Yeah.
What a songwriter.
Oh my God. Yeah. And the DeLeo brothers from like Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that. Flipping gears, country, old country. My dad used to listen to old country. And I think that's where I first heard kind of those sounds, right? Those
right.
working man blues and all those kind of old Hank Williams and all that stuff. So I think what's really funny is I've carried those influences and I still love that music so much, but it comes out in weird ways.
Right.
I'll be playing like some of my own stuff and then all of a sudden I'll. I don't know. It's weird, but I think that people would probably be surprised to hear maybe a little bit of that.
No, so country, surf, grunge, is there any metal lurking in your...
Of course.
The dark recesses of your mind?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. One of the first riffs I ever learned, of course, was Metallica. I was obsessed, and metal was huge for me. I remember when I was a kid going to Ozfest and seeing Ozzy with Zach. Ooh. And being right there and seeing it and going, what is this? So, yes, Pantera, Ozzy, Black Label Society, even some of the stuff I'd heard when I was a kid, like everything from like Lamb of God and Hatebreed and stuff like that. Total influence. I love the aggression and the power of that music. And I feel like I took a lot of that from metal. Yeah,
because people, like looking at you right now, to your left, there's a great picture of Stevie Ray, and even though you can't see his face, you know it's Stevie Ray just by the hat down. And right. It's kind of interesting to hear Pantera, Lamb of God, Alice in Chains, The Ventures,
totally
from Mr. Blues Power.
Yeah, I think that what's so cool is when you have all these diverse influences running through your head, it makes you a little less worried about what you're really going to play, Gotcha.
Yeah, so there are no rules, there are no boundaries. If it sounds and feels good, do it, basically.
That's exactly right.
Listen, I can't thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on another your second, darn it. The sequel, Rocky 2, JJN 2. And it's just, like Jaws, it'll be huge. It's just a great looking, like every man's guitar. And,
well, I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much, Nick, and I'm so excited for it.
And what I'm most excited about, I'm excited about the guitar. I'm really excited to hear what you come up with next, especially if you can capture the energy that you clearly have, and I'm sure your two cohorts in crime clearly have. Bottle that magic and ship it out ASAP, please. And hopefully next time I see you, there will be none of these darn things.
Yes.
And you'll be in your natural environment, kicking my butt with some fine, pickless, aggressive Alice in Chains, Black Sabbath, Metallica, Pantera, Dick Dale, The Ventures-inspired JJN uniqueness. So thanks, my friend. Stay safe. Feed that dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will see you soon, buddy. Thanks a lot again. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Nick. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.